Okay, now we're live. Hello, everybody. Good evening.
Hello.
Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. So we thought we would jump on and have a little chit chat because we had a very interesting afternoon, early evening, and we did a little past life regression session, which was kind of interesting, right? So we thought we'd just jump on and share a little bit about it.
It was like watching a movie.
For you, yeah.
Being in it.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? And it was an amazing thing to watch. So yeah, and I know if you've watched my recent live streams, I was talking recently about how I'm just creating the page for my website, but it's going to be a service that I'm going to officially offer. And it's something, and it's funny because it's something I've been doing, not officially, but it comes up. So we've definitely had it come up, haven't we, before?
Massive.
Yeah, like I remember doing an EFT session with you, and it just sort
of... The EFT, by the way, that
in.
session unearthed or paved almost like Moses parting the waves of some serious stuff with me, all in just one session.
Yeah, and it just brought up some things, right? And before we've done a different type of session, and you've gone into sort of spontaneous past life recall. So
yeah, I did that with Trevor Hoskison in Harley Street. He's one of these hypnotists of the year, contenders for some years running and whatever. And again, very, very interesting.
So
it revealed a lot.
Yeah. So today, because I'm launching the service, I thought we did like a very intentional session. So you were kind of my client, so to speak, for the session, and we did it, and it was just I don't know what you want to share. You said you wanted to kind of, well, you don't obviously share the whole thing, but how did you feel first of all, like when you came out of it? Because it was about an hour and a half, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh, hi, Darren.
Hi, Darren. It only felt like about 10 minutes. The way you'd prepped me, and I was nice and warm, and I've been regression hypnotized before, about 10, 12 times or something in all.
Years ago,
yeah. And this was prevailingly about a certain Second World War operative and all the stuff he got up to. And, there's a link anyway. There's a link with who you've been in your reincarnations and cycles, and this one went back specifically to 1630. And this man, what I suppose I can say, he was a contemporary of Descartes, the philosopher, former soldier as well. And we would have had dealings and all of that. All this was confirmed. But the specifics, he was, let's just say, an extremely busy man all throughout the world, and was party to quite a lot happening. And just really, it's very difficult. Apart from a physical stature, he wasn't as tall as me or whatever, but he was a very interesting guy. He was basically me, but in a slightly different physical appearance. But
yeah, because you saw I saw it as well, the similarities, right, between this person.
You saw it.
Yeah, and I could hear it and sense it, and it's just worth saying. So when we did this particular session, there are lots of different ways you can, go into this. You can look for a specific issue that you want to connect with, or you can do more of an exploration. But for this one, we sort of talked about it, but it was more allowing the subconscious or the soul to just take you where what was relevant,
where is needed, and this is on a soul level.
So you might have an idea in your head, like I want to do this, but your soul will guide you into what's relevant to you. And what came out for this was the thread between this person, this incarnation you had, and now. And obviously I know a lot more about what you want to be doing in this life. It was incredible,
staggering, wasn't it? What he did, and he was just me basically in his character, in his absolute core character,
the core essence. It was you, and it was recognizable.
For all the other reincarnations or whatever. That's quite amazing that he was, but he was just me. Just spoke French and from a different. He was from the 1600s, but what he was up to, what he did, his wherewithal, his applications in life, all the things that he wanted to change and did change. Are all there.
And this being, and I think was relevant, is this being a continuation, right? So as we were in this,
we have to be careful,
we're not going to go into all of it, but this is relating to you guys as well when you're tuning in. Oh, hi, Shah. It's to say, like, you know, we're not in this lifetime in isolation, right? We're in this lifetime, and we have all the, and I've said it loads of times.
If only we knew.
We're the accumulation of all the previous experiences. So a lot of the times, you know, we've trained already for certain things in this lifetime, right? We've experienced things before, and sometimes we've come back to continue or tie up loose ends.
Many of these things are not coincidences, by the way.
So it was really incredible that you also, we don't have to go into it, but you also got the idea of being careful, don't worry. He's like, what are you going to say? No, we're not going into the details, but the aspect of, remember we asked the question about what did you learn from this time, this lifetime, that is going to help you with this, and you got all this awareness, right? So that was really, it can be very healing and expansive to relate that.
You asked me the question, how do you feel? And I just responded, I feel more.
Yeah, like as in.
Now, I don't mean that in an egotistical sense as such. It's not meant to be that way. It's a sense of consolidation of certainly part of your life cycles, and we all have them. If you think you haven't, go under deep regression hypnosis and let's have that conversation straight afterwards.
Yeah, Darren, because Darren's saying no one's managed to hypnotize me yet.
I thought that as well, Darren.
You're welcome to try.
I'm from a Mensa. My mother was a Mensa 200 plus. She was off the charts, and I'm focused as I thought that I would be the same, but I was hypnotized like a that because a part of it is you having the ability to do it yourself. That's the secret, actually. It's not what people think. It's
you're very aware, isn't it? This is what I'm talking about. It's not like when you go in, it might be a myth that people think you go under hypnosis and you kind of lose control, which is sometimes what we're afraid of, and then we don't want to go there. But how would you describe your experience? You were very aware, weren't you? You were.
Bear in mind, I was hypnotized. I know
you've been there before,
you know what I was before, and others, and we go back to like Pharaoh stuff and all that stuff, world, and others, and So I had an awareness of being an old soul, and thousands and thousands of lives, like they said, plus mystical stuff and mythical stuff, and this on top of it, and having seen certain beasts that I can immediately relate to on top of that, all weird, really weird stuff. For a guy like me, it was initially it was a handful to take in, but it isn't so much anymore. There's been a process through your channeling and me being party to that it must have opened a drawbridge to stuff, and as a result, I've become calmer and easier, and you know, I had a bit of that going on before with Tai Chi and even in time in the seminary and all that sort of stuff, but more than most, actually. And you know, 22 years of Tai Chi did have an effect on me, and so on. But I'm pretty much completely open now. Nothing would surprise me. And I come from Belfast, for Christ's sake. Nothing surprises me now.
Well, as they said, it's getting you connected into your multi-dimensional nature, and it's you can't really switch a switch on for that. It's more like a process, isn't it? You just start to connect more and more and more.
Yeah, you do.
This was another piece today.
It's like a dawning and an awakening into, and not just that. It explains we are an amalgam, an amazing sort of labyrinth or kaleidoscope of instances and influences and natures and so on and so forth of our previous reincarnations. bearing in mind that I think it's 57 countries in the world believe in reincarnation. I mean, firmly believe it's their national belief. And
it is.
57 countries, for goodness sake,
Yeah, it's not minority, because over here in maybe in the UK or wherever you are,
UK's tiny little island. They only speak one language, if that, or unless they're refugees.
But so many people feel that it's like out there in a minority.
Glory
it's actually
days are gone.
It's not a minority view to believe in past lives. It's actually more common than not. It's interesting, right? So
everybody's being found out these days. Nothing's so great anymore. But anyway, saying it's imagine you have met the new love of your life, and this one resonates to the core. You don't even know why, but you begin to find out that you have certain things in common that you never would have thought you would have had. It's like you gobsmacked, little things that are said, or preferences, favorites, and this, that, and the other. But it gets to the point where you both say the same thing at the one time, or one will think of something and the other will say something a few minutes or an hour later, or whatever, the next day. Or there's a simpatico and synchronicity that waltzes and merges and meshes with each other. And those who got this kind of connection, they know this well. They all do, who have got this connection, and it's nothing new to them. But it's almost the same with deep regression hypnosis. You kind of know some of this stuff from some serious level. In the military, I knew things. I knew about camouflage, and I certainly knew about weapons. Once I got into it, initially there was an awkwardness, but there was also a familiarity. But there was also there were certain languages I seemed to understand from some strain that I hadn't strictly studied, and there's I always had an affinity with airplanes. I was a pilot, as well as a few other things in a previous life, the Second World War, and so on. Nothing is a coincidence, as I said, and you'll find that every person who goes under deep hypnosis, regression hypnosis, knows that there is no coincidence in anything. You favorite some countries you've always wanted to go to, you've had this fascination with. There's a reason you have that. And when you actually go through that Rubicon, you invariably realize that, and you know what it's all about, or what a lot of it is about. So that's what happened to me. And I just came out with the words, I feel more. That's all I wanted to say, because I felt consolidated. I understood a link in my reincarnations, which is very much prevalent today in this here and now, as MP Grant, and that's what I came out with, and also I felt calmer. And if you do consolidate your previous reincarnations, or aspects of which you tend to need to know these specific ones that come up. I went through, I think, at least 10 sessions under hypnosis in regard to a specific operator in the Second World War. He was very specific, SOE, and he went even further, where but so much of what he did, this specific training, I could relate to very, very specifically. And there are no coincidences, I'm telling you. And so we won't all have action-packed lives. It's some of our lives have been very bland and forgettable, at least you would think. But each one of those is as important as the other in their own ways. And you start to realize there's more to us than meets the eye. And what a great revelation or knowledge to have. So it takes a little bit of guts, like throwing your first hand grenade or jumping out your first plane or whatever. It's, it's a little bit of woo, especially when you hear the click and there's a little time when you put say, 2 parts of an L2 grenade together. It is, but by the time you start throwing your second and beyond, it's like nothing, So it'll be the same with hypnosis. You'll get over it. It's no big deal. It's quite relaxing, actually, and it's quite informative.
Yeah, and you can trust yourself to take yourself back to wherever you need to go. That's what we're doing. So the way I'm intending to do it as sessions is to use it as not just a tool for growth, but also any healing, tying up loose ends. And a big one for a lot of people is to understand. Sometimes it's just understanding why you're struggling with the thing you're struggling with, or the person.
No coincidence, remember.
But also the flip side of that is also why you are why you have preferences. Like it can be the deep stuff, but it can also be the beautiful stuff as well. It's like, oh, this is why I love this country. Oh my God, this is why I have an affinity with this thing or this person, but it's also, it allows you to do the deep healing. It allows you to expand your awareness, insights. There's just so many benefits.
And putting the pieces together, it's a big Columbo deal.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's amazing. Most people around these days are old souls.
Yes.
What that means is you've had previous lives. You've probably had many.
Yeah.
But there are salient, specific ones which particularly resonate with whatever your here and now is, whatever you've been struggling with or have just realized you've been struggling with. Maybe you've put the pieces together and maybe you've uncovered a missing piece. Well, there are secrets in your past and your life's journey and your reincarnations which hold those for you. And if you want to look for them, you'll. It's up to you, It's but they've been invaluable for me. Both the EFT as well. My goodness, I'm lucky here. I got, probably 30 years of therapy inside just a few sessions, actually.
Yeah, but
plus living with you.
Living with me. You're ready. You're ready to.
Yeah. That's another key element.
It's only when you're ready, and this past life regression again. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. It's not going to be for everyone.
Or you may be too afraid.
Want it, and that's okay. So it's if you recognize that this is calling you, you'll just know it. So I'm just going to share the details probably tomorrow. I'm just going to finish a little info page because there's lots of questions that come up. So I want to just put a little bit of info for you on the page. But I had a regression a few years back where it was more dipping into a few different lifetimes. So today's one with you was one lifetime and it was more in depth. But I've had an experience before where I've kind of gone in and out of doors and had different experiences, all in different kind of time periods, but it had a thread which was very relevant to where I was at the time. So there's so many different interesting, fascinating ways to experience it. So I'm really excited to be doing this work.
I don't believe that any one of them is a coincidence or unintentional.
No.
This is a soul domain going on, and the soul is a million times brighter and more intelligent than our 3-pan of inside our cerebral cortexes. It just doesn't cut it in comparison. This subconscious, which they even admit now is 97% of our choices, our best choices and so on, are subconscious. That subconscious is a bit like the ocean. If it was fully delved into, the land mass is pitiful in comparison, and likewise is our subconscious compared to what we foolishly try to rely on for a major part of it, and we just get old and regret not knowing what life is about and wonder when all went wrong, Alfie. There's more to there that we can tap into it, and hypnosis is especially regression hypnosis is the way to go, I think.
And it's lifetime's so different because we're here during this crazy time where the big message I'm getting, and this is why I'm channeling, and a lot of the messages that we channel through is that it is now time for more and more and more of us, more of humanity, to start realizing and remembering, whilst we're in the physical form, that we are higher consciousness and we are a soul that's dropped into this body. No more of this kind of putting it out there as a woo-woo weird belief. It's like that is the programming, right? It's actually, so what's going to happen, watch over the next 10, 20 and beyond years, there's going to be more and more and
There's
more
a
of this. It's
collective
starting
consciousness
to happen.
beginning now.
It's
in
already
earnest,
been
in play, and particularly in countries like Brazil,
everywhere.
China's chipping away as well,
everywhere.
Turkey, and even Iran. There's stuff. The dams are cracking, and you know, in 20 years' time, they'll look at things like masks and go, "Oh my God!" You know, the children and their children become, "How did this happen? How was this allowed?" You know, didn't you learn from 1939 and so on?
But as in consciousness as well, it's continuous, you know. So we're going to have more of these conversations, and it's, you know, there will be a time when this is more mainstream than it is. So I hope that I can help bring that in more as well through my part of what I'm here to do. But yeah, it's exciting. So we just wanted to jump on there and share it with you because it was very current. It was today, and it was really fascinating. It was.
Do you look at me in a different way now?
No, because it feels so true to what I already felt from you, and it felt like an extension of you, you know, and it tallies with so many things I felt and saw with you anyway. But it was lovely to see your, I don't know, it's like this look on you. It was like contented, and it was big energy, and you were just quiet. But when you go quiet, there's an energy. It's not just if you've gone quiet, there's the whole room, you can feel it. So it was interesting, and it was lovely to see that. Yeah, so I'm excited, and I get to go on journeys with people. That's what I felt, because I said to you,
quite a lot you had to take in.
Yeah, but it was expansive and not surprising to me, obviously, because I know you, and I've known you for a long time, going back before this life.
A lot of details were uncovered in two ways. One was through deep hypnosis regression, and the other one was through Marie's channeling thereafter. In fact, some of the channeling it just came through of its own accord as well. And the both information funnels were completely aligned with each other, and it all made, basically one made the other even more sense, and did some stuff behind the scenes. I asked about a certain philosopher, Descartes, that I mentioned. Did I have anything to do with him? Yes, we had several dealings with him, and so forth. But they even put that into perspective, and give me the bigger picture, and reminded me of that bigger picture with my reincarnation or life cycle, the sheer magnitude of it, and how it goes even off the earthly plane, and all sorts of stuff. So look, one thing you'll if you do delve into this, is you'll realize that there's more to you than meets the eye, and there is a reason why you do have certain proclivities and favorites of things. It could be in food, it could be colors, and even countries and cultures and so on. There's no coincidence with that either. There really isn't.
There are stacks of books on this as well around different cultures who are more open to this, so they have more cases generally. But I've like tons of books.
India, Pakistan,
yeah, massive. And there are lots of cases around people coming back with a phobia or a fear, and it has no rational, logical sense, but it was related to a past life, maybe death or an injury or some wounding of some kind. And
there's enough proof out there for you to have absolutely no confusion about it. There really is now by this point.
Even birthmarks, but for some people it's new, but birthmarks, they had an amazing like studies. I read this years ago, where they studied people with birthmarks. This happened a lot in India, where when you trace the birthmark back to the previous life that they were able to recall, it was like the same place as, say, the bullet wound that killed them, or some birthmark defect was in exactly the same position. And sometimes in certain cultures, they mark the body where the wound was. And then when they have a baby born into the family, they have a birthmark in that same place. And all these fascinating, to them, it's just very normal. To maybe us over here in this part of the world, it's like mind-blowing, but it's just perspective.
Yeah, or you could stay with what they're trying to say in the MSN news and watch the games and grow old quicker than you really should be, and whatever. It's of your choice.
Most people tuning into the Awake Revolution and to any of my messages, so they're going to be people that are much more conscious.
Look, we are in interesting times. Whether you actually realize that or not, there are a growing amount which do, and it's exciting. It's an exciting period in the world, and some who are maybe they're oblivious. They won't necessarily always be, and the prevailing winds are that it's exciting. There are a lot of things happening now, and revelations afoot, and it's quite awesome. So this is a period where I believe that Marie in particular, well, both of us are actually, there are many of us, let's say, whom are here in this time and place for a reason. We've undergone what we've undergone to date and beyond for a reason. Again, there's no coincidence in that either. And we're among millions of people. Millions.
Very conscious.
Thank goodness.
It's a very conscious decision to come here. So all of you watching this now on the replay, know that, this whole idea of I didn't ask to be born is bullshit. You absolutely did. And you made a conscious choice. You wouldn't have come into this human form if you did not choose it as a soul, right? That's just basics, and that might challenge some people, but it's basics. It's time for us to start understanding that and knowing that as very basic universal knowledge, right? So it's very deliberate, and we have so many reasons why we're in this lifetime. So we get to explore some of that when the time is right, and there are aspects that you're ready to know. So yeah, that's what.
So if you do go down the line of as I said, the EFT and various other things you're doing now, but in particular you have a gift for deep regression hypnosis. There is so much to be unraveled within ourselves, where you maybe don't have this experience when something happens in your life. I don't know. It just happened. I wasn't thinking. Or this will help you consolidate who you are, the why, what, and where of you, and mission statement, the reason you're here, whatever. Why you are the way you are. It is a wonderful experience, and if it takes a little bit of courage, see us on the other end of that and say it wasn't worth it. So I would just say I'm as no nonsense as you can get. I'm as logical and as critical and cross-referencing, belts and braces and logic beyond that and variables included. Believe me, I am all of that. Way blow your mind how much. If I'm looking at as an international bodyguard, I had to be better than the people who were trying to do the jobs, if you know what I mean. I had to be more than them, better than them. And it brings you to the point of near paranoia. So my logical capacity is you can just trust me. I'm up there. This is something unbelievably good, and it unshackles us. Actually, once we have just a tiny little bit of kid's courage to do it,
This is why I like to. So when I, if any of you are receiving anything from me, a new service or an offering, know that it's been tried and tested, because that's why you're a tough crowd, and I love using trainings that I have, and I you test them for me, right? Because you will give me the you're so
sometimes I will know straight away.
yeah, but you're very, you don't just say to me to be nice to me, oh yeah, it's really great,
No.
right? You're very like brutally honest. I do appreciate that. So it's like you're a tough crowd. So I know that when you experience that, I feel like, yes, it's like everyone can experience this, because I know you've got such a like a logical part of you, right, that you've had to have with all of your jobs and things. So yeah, it's interesting.
But what I'd say is we are approaching Christmas very soon. A lot of changes are afoot. The cold is coming in. Consequences of our actions and so on are virtually guaranteed in one way or another. And it's going to be a very introspective period. Right now, we're looking forward to Christmas. We're getting the shopping's ordered and this and that and that. But there's going to be some shocks, said it all along, basically. So it is going to be an introspective time. People will have no choice but to be that way, whether you like it or not. So, but people will be curious about the who, what, when, and how, and where of themselves. And this is a service from Marie that may well hold quite a few of those answers and lead in the various other ways that you work into what's needed at this time, and maybe pivotal for you. A shock may turn out to be a wonderful epiphany, and a down tree may end up being the redirection that you needed, and so on. Yeah. So just bear that in mind. Remember, this was said, and Marie's not going anywhere anyway. So
yeah,
okie
I'm
dokie
here for the long term. So I've got so many things I want to do and share, and so have you. So like day 74.
Me, not just yet.
Yeah, but when the time's right.
Some books out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna do all sorts of things.
The Contingent is coming out very soon.
You
Okay,
just
I've
announced
named
it. Oh my god!
No, one of
I love
many
it.
books.
Yes.
But
Is that the one you're doing first? Yes. I did not know this. The Contingent by MP Grant is book number 1.
Yeah, that's
wow.
A week or two.
Well,
just before Christmas, probably.
Michael's written about 1,000 books, and
two or 300.
A lot of books. So it was like, which ones? We were like going, which ones? And then suddenly it just seemed to everything parted. It became clear, and you were like, we're just going to do one at a time. So you're going to get your first book out this pretty soon. So that's exciting.
Anyway, hopefully there's something here that will have touched base with you, and I think you're putting up a site or a page.
I'm just doing a page on my website, so you can read, have a look, book directly, same as my laser focus channel sessions. So I'm hoping that will be ready tomorrow. Yes, for those of you who are on the case study project with me,
interesting stuff.
You'll already we're going to dive into this as part of it. So just so you know, you will be getting one of these sessions. If I haven't already arranged it with you, then I will. So that will be my little gift to you
for Christmas.
On that. So yeah, I'll message you and arrange that with you, and that'll be amazing. But this isn't a joint. Darren's saying a joint book. Yeah, we probably will. Not yet, but there'll definitely be collaborations, won't there?
We're gonna be writing some stuff. We may end up one day doing plays and
we got
scripts for plays and all sorts.
Scripts and films.
Our tenure together this time round. Apparently, there have been many times we were connected with each other in
different ways.
In different ways in past. Reincarnation cycles or whatever, we it's been funny as well as challenging in some ways. It's been wonderful too, and staggeringly amazing, but it's also been funny, And we look at each other in the morning, and Marie comes down, and we just burst out laughing.
Yeah.
Just looking
just
at
to
each
see you
other.
again in the morning. It's kind of funny. You find it funny. So here we are again.
You notice things about me that, where the hell did that come from? How did you?
I've studied you now for 6.5 years.
She has. Yeah.
It's an endless.
But would you say that what you're studying
thing.
is evolving as well? Because I would say that with you.
Yeah.
No?
Like I know,
Very much.
I think the trick, maybe a little magic secret to a relationship, I don't know, but for me it would be never think that you know the person inside out, because
especially
bloody
now.
don't. So I feel like,
oh Jesus,
I feel like I'm always
stuff yeah,
there's more, isn't there? There's always more, isn't there?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So there we go. Yeah, souls are intertwined forever. Yeah, because we have our soulmates, soul groups, all of that stuff. So yes, thank you, Darren. Great energy when I'm near you guys. Yeah, and we will have to arrange a meetup, right? Because we've been saying this for a while. We were talking about it recently.
You're always welcome.
Yeah,
always.
Yeah,
I'll get the sandwiches on and so on. Always.
Get the sandwiches on.
Yeah. I did them sandwich before you left last time.
Yeah, you make good sandwiches. Good ones. You do. Right. That is it. We're going to go. It's, not quite 5 minutes, but. Yeah.
So I have a look out for what Marie's doing. Some of the stuff will be in the book. They won't be named or anything.
No, the book, the next book that's going to be written will be off the back of the case studies I've been doing. So it's funny how even that's evolved, because it was about transformation, but now,
and it would follow from Above and Beyond. The book,
sort of
your first book, in a way,
in some ways,
very much does. It's like, wow, she went from this to this. Yeah.
But it's sort of taken a little plot twist that I hadn't realized, as I'm so used to it.
Plot twist.
I didn't realize I was going to be doing this work at this time. I always felt it from when I was very like 9 years old, but it seems to be it's clicked in now. This is the time, so it's going to feed into the book. So the book that I'll be putting out kind of next year, it's going to have
soon next year.
Early first
couple of
quarter
months
of the year. Yeah. It's going to have this element of past lives and transformations and stuff. So it's gone way beyond, above and beyond what I thought it would be. But that's how things
healing people from EFT, stopping them ending their own lives, changing habits of 10 and 20 and even 30 years. Even longer in that one lady.
Oh yeah, that's before.
Whose husband absolutely loves you because his life has changed now with her because of this stuff, and so many other situations that have happened because of what your intercession. And then now it's your intercession plus the Arcturian, the angelic realm, the higher self. The money guides,
and wealth consciousness. There's just a beautiful
and so on,
symphony with them all. So there's so much about us we get to change and transform, right? That's what I'm here for. And it's really about the more we release and let go of all the old, it is as simple as that. It's not maybe necessarily easy, but it'll tap you into who you really are. Not just a cliche on the internet, but who you really are, because it's that feeling you had today, right? You were sitting there,
total familiarity, like old boots.
You just looked so at peace with yourself. I don't think I've seen you.
I could
quite that
smell
way
the swords and the various other things. I was there. I could feel my face in the Caribbean being warmed and all of it, and the sense of skullduggery and within courts and all sorts of stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that is it. Right, we're going to go now. It's 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. on Sunday night. So we're going to switch off. Yes. So thank you for tuning in. I'm going to check the comments because I were bouncing around, and I'll get back to you
and by the way, Darren, he's a tough audience as well, but he's got the heart of gold and 2 amazing dogs. He loves animals and nature, but as regards a strong character, but a colorful character with a deep soul. So if you're rich, stunning.
Is this a pitch? What is this?
Full tank of gas. Get yourself to Peterborough. where he's got quite a nice little gaff there. He's done it himself, and you can rock his bones and shake his world for him.
This is like an open invitation for Darren. You literally just opened it up.
I want to see it. I want him to see him shaken, stirred, rocked, and
all right, ladies, this is an
spun.
invitation.
And with a big smile on his face, and let him. Yeah, it's he's ready for the picking. So you can even wear your Christmas stockings and
oh my god, whatever's floats your boat.
Just want to say,
okay, that's a good friend. That's a good wingman there.
Well, there you go. We did a same sort of job, and anyway, there you go.
All right, okay. So everybody, ladies, Darren is available.
What?
Darren is available. Okay,
yeah, he's he's been busy doing the house and the grands, and it's quite ingenious what he's done. It's amazing, actually, and doing all sorts of other stuff. And he's you just go and shake his world up. Needs a good shaking and rocking and rolling and all the rest of it.
All the rest of it. Okay. On that note, yes.
Shake his world, baby.
Rock his world. Okay, so we're going to go.
I'm interested. He hasn't said anything just yet. What does he say?
Thank you, Mike. Hilarious. He's laughing. Maverick.
All right. Maverick. Well, it takes one to know one.
Yeah.
I know.
All right, then.
I know. He's a maverick as well.
Yes.
Very much so. So respect and like about him and feel comfortable with him because he is one.
That's just a good friend.
Yeah,
just pitching.
Not a bullshitter or whatever.
Doing a love and dating pitch for your friend on live stream. I love it.
Yeah, I just
more people should do this.
I just want her to put a picture of his face, all rocked and rolled and strolled and whatever.
Rocked and rolled and strolled.
Yeah, just maybe with a beer afterwards. And just trying to picture it in my head. I don't know.
He's manifesting for you, Darren. That's what he's doing. He's manifesting for you right now.
We'll say a prayer for you.
No. And he will rock her world as well. Just lest we forget.
For anyone that wants, this is you, Darren, or your lady that's going to come in now to your world, or anyone else watching this, if you are
might be more than one.
Might be more than one. If the Darren show, if you can come on next time, we can talk about you. For any of you that wants to, you want to get into a higher level relationship, a better one than you've had before, just know, this is what I used to tell myself, there's someone out there that will love exactly like me. That's what I used to say to myself, because I had all the reasons in the world, right, not to trust people, but I said, someone out there is going to feel how I feel, and someone out there is going to be just as loyal as me. They're going to love the way I do, and it's true. So just tell yourself that, because that's how you allow it in.
Who would have thought?
I know.
Oh dear God.
It's on a live stream. Right, we have to go now. 42 minutes.
All right. Oh shit! I better go. Otherwise, I'll be in trouble.
You'll be in trouble because it's supposed to be 5 minutes.
Right. Well.
Right. Okay.
Well.
Lots of love to all of you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the replay. And I will share details probably tomorrow.
Interesting.
Tomorrow.
Interesting.
But yes.
Stuff.
Yes.
And very well timed. Very well timed this time of year and beginning of the new year and all the rest of it. Very, very well timed. And I think a lot of people will be appreciative that they will have this as an option, this amazing access to some answers out there. You can also, through your channeling, really there is no limit to what they need to know.
It's combining it all.
This life and others, and you there's no limit. So, will I have any time with you after that?
Yes, because I'm only going to do a certain amount of sessions because I've got other things as well. But I have other ways of working. But it'll just be, we'll see where it goes.
Shit.
More time with me. More quality time together. More time to talk. Okay. You always tune in at the right times. Yeah, you do.
Who said that?
Darren.
Good.
Yes. Good. Okay, right. Let's go. Right. Have a good rest of your night whenever you're watching this. And I'll see you here tomorrow.
Give you time to wash all the bed sheets. We'll do that in the morning first thing, Darren, if you're up nice and early. Go for your run. Get your yogurt down you. And some porridge as well. Get the odd Guinness as well. Yeah, no dramas at all.
Anything else?
Yeah. but not on this
Maybe
show.
off camera. Yes. Okay, that's another show. Right. See you then. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Au revoir.